If your parents didn't teach you this, hopefully this video will. I'm uncharmingly in my kitchen right now. It's not big. This is seriously the size of my kitchen. It's tiny. I was just going to cook some food, but then I realized that I want to make this video to maybe help someone who's struggling with the feelings that I am currently experiencing at this very moment. So this is also kind of a log for me to look back on and, just be proud of myself for the maturity that I'm sending out into the world with my figuring out of emotions. See, I've been going to therapy lately. That's not quite true because I've only went 3 times. And I don't like my therapist that much. I'm sure she's great. She's probably a very kind human. But we don't really click. We don't have that connection where it works patient and professional. I don't feel like I get the professional help that I'm seeking. She has this idea that she wants me to become angry almost always. Whenever there's something troubling me and I mention it, she says, well, what if you try being angry? I don't want to be angry. She has this idea that maybe it helps. That's not the point of this video. This was just, ever since going to therapy, I've been becoming more and more aware of myself and of my emotions. And at this very moment, I'm struggling with an incident that happened today. You see, there was a competition where you could win an electric bike. And for the past the past months maybe, I've been thinking about getting a bike. My brother has a bike he doesn't use, but it's at my mom's place. So I was thinking to go there and then bike it all the way to me. That's, 40 kilometers. But that's not quite true. It's actually like 20 kilometers, but still it's far to just bike on your own. Because currently I'm walking to campus, to my university, and that takes about 40 minutes. And it would be great now that the weather is getting better to be able to bike there. And as it would have it, the university has a job fair, I guess you call it. So there are a lot of companies that just, promote themselves. And one of the companies held a competition to win an electric bike. And all you had to do was super simple. All you had to do was answer 10 questions correctly and do it the fastest time. So you could get 1,000 points per question if you answered without any time passing. So if you were quick, you could get 900 points. 960 would be fast. The thing is, if you didn't reload the page, the answers would be in the same place. So you could just sit and spam it. You'd know exactly where it would be. So it was a race of trigger fingers at the end. Now, I figured this out yesterday night and I was like, I got this in the bag. This is my bike. That's great. I'm gonna go there tomorrow and then, 2 minutes before the competition closes, I'm gonna send in this huge amount of points because you could keep the points until the last minute. And so I did. Out of 10,000 points, I had 9,552. And that put me at a really good spot with a really good margin. And 2 minutes to the competition ending, I submitted it. And then I waited the 2 minutes and I was waiting for the email. It said, you're gonna receive an email if you won, and then you just show the email and the bike is yours. But the email never came. So then I took my stuff and I walked all over, straight across the campus to the company with the bike. And I was like, hi, I never received the email. I'm number one. And you could tell on the scoreboard that I indeed was number one. But the person in second place just appeared when I reloaded the page. And it turns out she had also submitted at 2 minutes so 2:28 then. The competition ended 2:30. So at 2:28 she had also submitted the same amount of points. But the system put me at first and her in second. But when I got there, I said, hi, I'm the winner. I didn't receive an email. And they said, well, we already emailed the winner. It was her. And I said, that's not true. See, look right here. I'm the first one. I'm at number one. And so she grabs her colleagues or a colleague, and they look at the admin page of the quiz. It's an online quiz. And she says that I can see that this other person, let's call her Josephine. Her name is Josephine. She was up here, and I'm below her. And so the person grading this, or the judge of it, whatever, she just saw Josephine at the top, so she sent out the mail. But according to the system, I was at the top. And the feeling that I'm struggling with right now is that, spoiler alert, I did not win the e-bike. And I stood there. I did everything I could. And I went there and I argued why I should win it. We're tied, but you can tell in the system, I'm at number one. But they had already sent out the email. And I understood that they were not gonna mail her and say, hey, sorry, no, you did not win. This other person won. You got the same amount of points, but he convinced me to mail you saying you didn't win it after all. So I get why they didn't do that, but they were very condescending and they said, I'm very sorry for this. It's so strange that you could get the same amount of points. And truly it is, because, milliseconds determine the amount of points. So it's crazy that we got the same amount of points. I have to applaud her that she had the same strategy, that she had also figured out the fault in the system kind of that allowed you to get these high points. So you can't hate the player. You really can't quite hate the game either. I'm not quite sure what I'm getting at. Long story kind of short, I'm not sure I'm finished. I have this feeling that why didn't I win? If it was chance, why couldn't she have mailed me instead of her? And, I'm at the same time, I'm being kind of a chill dude about it. Dun, 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 dun. Hopefully I didn't just sing it, but I found the actual sound to put it over the video. If not, then enjoy my singing. And it's kind of, stoicistic. Is that how you say it? There's nothing I can do about it right now. She had already mailed the person. I did everything I could. I went there physically and I said, hey, I'm the winner. They said no. The thing is, you had an hour, so until 3:30 to come and fetch the bike. And she said, well, if she doesn't show up, the bike is yours. And so I waited for at least 40 minutes, probably 40 minutes. And at 3:20, she was still not there. And I was like, please don't show up. It would be amazing. Imagine the arc, like the dramaturgic arc. Oh, blah, 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 climax. Oh, you didn't win. Oh, why? And then whoop, and then she doesn't show up and then I win. Like, that would be amazing. A roller coaster of emotions. No, it just went downhill because she did arrive. She did show up at 3:26. So I was like, you could have been 26 minutes early, so I wouldn't have to wait here for all this time. Or, you could have been 5 minutes late. That would have been even better. So I could have gotten the bike. The thing is, I'm not too mad about it. And the feeling that I kind of felt, maybe I'll put a timestamp, because this is, if your parents did not teach you this, I hope that this story will. As a child, I never competed in anything. Never in sports, never nothing. So I've never experienced the feeling of losing. And academically, I've always been competing against myself for better grades, for getting, passing a test. And I've always, I've gotten great grades. School has never really been hard for me. So I've always been winning in that aspect. And my parents, growing up, when something was frustrating or something didn't go as planned or I didn't win something, if there was something that I wanted and I was crying, I would always get it. My mom especially would always be so fixated on solving the problem that she would go, full Karen mode and talk to anyone, call anyone and be like, this has to be resolved. And it usually always was resolved. And So I've never really experienced losing. And this was probably one of the first time that I've lost a competition. You know, there are some Instagram giveaways where it's just literally chance. But this time I had invested so much time and so much energy, and I was visualizing. I was so confident that I had won because I had figured out the system. I was like, I'm gonna bike home. Yeah, I walked to school today, but I'm gonna ride my bike back home. That was not the case. I had to walk. The sun had gone down. It was dark. It's Sweden, north of Sweden. It's pitch dark. For 40 minutes uphill, and I was like, yeah, it would be great to have my bike. There's nothing I can do to have changed the outcome. It was chance, and that's okay. The lesson, I feel like there's always, in life, everything happens for a reason, and there's always a lesson to be learned. It might suck, yeah, but I realized that, you know, my life tomorrow is not going to be different from my life today. The job fair didn't even have to have happened. The bike was just this add-on. Yeah, my life would have maybe improved. It would have been more positive if I had won it, but I didn't win it, and my life is not going to be negatively affected by it. It's just this, I'm so emotionally invested in this competition and kind of fixated on winning this thing that I did go take a shower. I was not crying, but I was sitting in my shower in steaming hot water. And then I realized that I was just going round and round and round in circles. And I just realized, wait, there's nothing I can do about this. Either I just stay in the shower for the entire night and just feel bad about myself, or I realized that, hey, snap out of it. What's gonna change? What's gonna happen? Nothing. There's nothing I can do now that's gonna change it. And that's okay. So I flipped the switch to ice cold water. I shocked my body and was like, oh, which helped me get out of that train of thought, that loop. And so I'm rambling. I usually am rambling. Welcome to the channel. If you've never competed in anything, if you've never experienced losing something, it's gonna suck the first time. But it's just feelings. You're only feeling feelings, and you don't have the tools to, what's the word? You don't have the tools to manage is not the word. I'm struggling with my English right now. There's a word for where you don't know how to handle. Maybe you don't have the tools to handle these emotions because you've never had to develop the tools because you were always taken care of. You know, that's how it goes. There's so much I'm learning in life that there are so many things that you need to experience at a young age so that you're exposed to the feelings. This is probably my first time feeling like I lost a competition where I was so close to winning. Imagine if I had played soccer all my life, every single match I didn't win, it would be the same feeling, that I would have trained for months and I would have scored goals in the match. I would have done everything I could, yet someone else won. That's so common to a lot of people. But I have not developed the tools to handle those emotions. And I feel like if this would have taught me anything, it's just that. And it sucks that it had to come at such a high price. The bike was valued at $2,000 or euros, 22,000 Swedish crowns. That would have been nice. But again, I'm just trying to... Another thing, I wasn't done. It's okay to grieve. You don't, because that's also something that my parents were always, as soon as I was sad, they always tried to solve the problem and make me not sad. But the way to not be sad is not to the sadness. It's to acknowledge that you're sad. It's to say, yeah, hey, this actually does suck. This sucks for you. It's so unfair. You did everything you could. You deserved literally to win just as much as her because you had the same amount of points. You both submitted it at the exact same time. You were both equal winners. But she won. You did not. That sucks. You're still alive. You're still breathing. Tomorrow's another day. The sun will rise. life is beautiful, but it sucks. Don't hide your feelings. When you feel something, try to acknowledge, try to actually really feel it, and try to realize or understand what it is you're feeling and why. And that could be so hard, but if there's one thing that I've learned from my therapist, even though I don't feel like it's not working out, it's to be more self-aware. And whenever I'm in situations where I'm feeling something, the Grinch, I'm feeling, to actually try to understand what it is I'm feeling and maybe why, and, just be a chill guy about it. So, if your parents did not teach you to grieve at loss or losing, I'm specifically talking about losing competitions, not, losing someone. Death, that's also so important. You have to experience losing a person that you love and care about at a young age so that it's kind of normal to you when you grow up. Because if you're 23 and it happens to you that you suddenly just lose someone who you keep so dear in your heart, yeah, I can imagine that's going to be really difficult. So when it comes to competitions, it's just materialistic. It's whatever. See you in the next Ramble vlog. I'm gonna go cut some onions.